Resuming with our program this morning, may I please, on that note, welcome all of you. You are certainly at the Electoral Commission of South Africa. This is the massive launch of the 2026 municipal elections, local government elections. We're going to be spending a moment of greatness. On that note, before I proceed with the program, allow me to warmly welcome to this event the Chief Electoral Officer of the IEC, Ntatema Mabolo, accompanied by the commissioners as they take their space in the front of the hall. May I please welcome Ntate Muyepia, Chairperson of the IEC, CEO, as you escort our commissioners to please come to the front. May I also welcome the Vice Chairperson, Commissioner Love, as well as Commissioner Mashinini, as well as Commissioner Judge Pillay and Commissioner Pizzo, as they take their seat so that they form part of this big morning. You know, young people would easily call it a massive morning. It is indeed, CEO, as you are joined by the commissioners. Can we give them a massive round of applause? For the get up, show up, vote, applause. I missed that a bit, ne? There's something missing there. If it's a get up, show up and vote, applause, another one, another big one. Thank you so much. Yeah. That feels like it. That feels like it. My name is Kate Papela, the National Spokesperson of the Electoral Commission of South Africa. I'm going to be navigating this morning right into the late afternoon. Certainly, it's a massive one. On that note, let me proceed before I go to the program this morning. Let me first start with what is key for our country. We're going to be going into the national anthem. After we go into the national anthem, then we'll proceed with the rest of the program. Let me invite the young people of this country that are going to be joining us and ensure that they remind us that the baton belongs to them. When young people come through, you'll be rising and we'll be singing the national anthem. Joining us for the singing of the national anthem. These brilliant souls, they're all coming from 4 schools around our neighborhood, around Gauteng province. We're joined by Ziketeni Secondary School. We're joined by Tembisa School of Speciality. We're joined by St. Peter's College, as well as Buitumelong High School. The future belongs to them. As they proceed and lead us into the national anthem, we'll all get ready for that. Conductor, may you please proceed. Thank you very much to the young people of our country. They represent schools' democracy. May you please take your seats. These young learners, young South Africans, they represent schools' democracy program, which is one of the flagship initiatives of the Electoral Commission. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to the national launch of the 2026 local government elections themed Get Up, Show Up, Vote. A special welcome to the Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, Honorable Mr. Velinkosi Hlabisa, Acting Minister of Police, Honorable Mr. Feroz Kachalia, Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Home Affairs, Honorable Mr. Musa Chabani, Chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Mr. Masutu Myepia, Vice Chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Major Janet Love, Commissioner Mashinini, Commissioner Judge Pillay, and Commissioner Pizzo. From the Electoral Commission, the family of the Electoral Commission, allow me to further welcome Chief Electoral Officer Ntate Mamabolo, members of the Electoral Commission Executive and Management, former commissioners of the Electoral Commission, representative of government departments and entities, representatives of the National Party License Committee, members of the judiciary, representatives of Chapter 9 institutions, members of the diplomatic corps, representatives of international organizations, leaders from business, academia, non-government organizations, as well as civil society. Also, members of the Fourth Estate, the media, have joined us en masse this morning. On behalf of the Electoral Commission of South Africa, it is my distinct pleasure and privilege to welcome you all to the national launch of the 2026 local government elections. Today marks an important milestone in our democratic calendar as the Commission formally launches preparations for 2026 local government elections. This occasion signifies not only the beginning of the electoral timetable and intensified voter mobilization efforts, but also affirms our collective commitment to safeguarding South Africa's constitutional democracy through free, fair, and credible elections. Your presence this morning reflects the shared responsibility carried by all sectors of our society in strengthening democratic participation in ensuring that every eligible citizen is empowered and will exercise their right to vote. Today's program will cover overview of the Commission's state of readiness for the 2026 local government elections. That will be led by our Chief Electoral Officer, Ntate Mamabolo, and that will be followed by a keynote address by the Chairperson of the IEC, Ntate Masutu Myepia. We are honored by the attendance of leaders from government, oversight institutions, the diplomatic community, civil society, academia, business, and the media, whose continued support remains pivotal in advancing transparent, inclusive, and peaceful elections. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, another warm welcome as we proceed onto this event. CEO, without much ado, let me allow you to come to the podium and give us an update on where we are as a country in terms of preparations and readiness. Before that, before you come through, may I allow Ntate Commissioner Mashinini to come and welcome the guests and lead this program to ensure that all of us feel warmly received by the Electoral Commission. Ntate Mashinini.
Thank you, Program Director, distinguished ministers present here, the Honorable Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, Mr. Hlabisa, together with the Honorable Minister or Acting Minister of Police, Mr. Kachalia, as well as our esteemed Chair of the Portfolio Committee of Home Affairs, Mr. Chabane. Distinguished guests, let me align myself to the protocol as have already been observed by our Program Director. Chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Mr. Miepa, and my fellow colleagues, it is indeed, ladies and gentlemen, both an honor and a privilege to welcome you to the official launch of 2026 local government elections by the Electoral Commission of South Africa. This launch signifies an important commencement of a mass campaign by the Commission for citizen participation in the electoral process. It is one of the major milestones on the journey to November 4th, 2026 local government elections, a date that now has been announced by our head of state, His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa. Whereas the highlight of today's activity might be the launch of a television commercial promoting and encouraging all citizens to register on the 20th and the 21st of June 2026. But the activities also that we are dealing with, they carry a deeper meaning to our nation, our country, and our values. Fundamentally, these activities, such as today, they remind all of us as the citizens and patrons of our country that for our individual and that we have a collective and individual responsibilities to contribute to the constitutional project of our country and to our posterity. So the launch really reminds us that the constitutional covenant between our people of South Africa and those who will represent them in local municipality is one that has to be continuously renewed. Hence the importance of ensuring that the elections, they really fortify the legitimacy of those people who then are elected to represent the people in our country. And local government elections occupy a unique and deeply important place in our constitutional democracy. In fact, it is where democracy and its potential are best expressed because of how it manifests to everybody in our everyday life. The local government elections bring governance closest to our communities on a daily basis. Further, the local governments shape our the communities in which we live, where we work, where we raise families, and where we pursue our daily lives and our interests as a society. And for this reason, local government elections are not, as sometimes implied, secondary elections. Instead, they are the foundational to the health and the vitality of our democratic order that we as South Africa have embraced since the dawn of our democracy in 1994. And as we gather here, ladies and gentlemen, we do so with the full understanding that democracy does not create, sustain, or execute itself. It depends on all of us as citizens and voters to give meaning and essence to it. The price we must be willing, therefore, to pay for a viable democracy is being eternally vigilant and continuously invest into the democratic project. As the Electoral Commission, We have long maintained that elections do not belong to the Commission alone. They belong to all of us as South Africans. And as the Commission, we administer elections independently and impartially, as required by the Constitution, but the success and the legitimacy of elections depends on the collective contribution of many partners as well as stakeholders, in particular the political participants who are really our key stakeholders. In particular, political parties and candidates are indispensable participants in democracy. And civil society organizations, they continue to play an essential role in civic education, in voter mobilization, in election observation, and community leaders, faith-based organization, organized business, organized labor, and ordinary citizens all contribute to sustaining the democratic culture and public confidence in the electoral institutions and the electoral democracy that we have in our country. Today, it is meant to remind all of us that our key role is that of preserving and sustaining democracy. And the Electoral Commission, therefore, appeals upon all the stakeholders to continue to work collectively to preserve the integrity and credibility and peaceful character of our 2026 local government election. In closing, allow me once again to thank all the stakeholders on behalf of the Electoral Commission and for their continued partnership, engagement, and commitment to the democratic governance in South Africa. We as the Commission, we look forward in seeing to it that we discharge this constitutional responsibility to the best of our ability and to the pride of our nation. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Ntate Mashinini. This morning, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a very dynamic program that carries with it the spirit of the youth of our country. As the CEO prepares to brief the nation on all sorts of developments around 2026 local government elections, I'm going to, with respect, you know I'm a respectful child. May I respectfully request commissioners to take the front seat of this room, as the CEO will be presenting a very dynamic presentation. So they need to see and enjoy it as well. Ntate Mamabolo, as we proceed.
Thank you, Program Director. Honorable Minister of COGTA, Minister Velenkosini Hlabisa, Minister of Police, Professor Kachalia, Chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Mr. Mosotho Moepya, members of the Commission, distinguished heads of Chapter 9 institutions, the Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Home Affairs, Mr. Musa Chabane, the National Director of Public Prosecutions, Advocate Ndi Mutibi, Chairperson of the Board of the SABC, Chairperson of the Municipal Demarcation Board, former commissioners of the Electoral Commission, members of the National Political Liaison Committee, representatives of civil society, distinguished members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is a privilege today, to address you today as we launch the 2026 local government elections, marking the commencement of the mass awareness campaign towards Election Day on the 4th of November. We immediately wish to express our great gratitude to Minister Hlabisa for working tirelessly to secure this date. Siyabonga Bulawayo. Since the dawn of democracy in 1994, the Electoral Commission has successfully delivered 5 local government elections, each marking a significant milestone in the evolution of local democracy and the consolidation of municipal councils as theaters for civic engagement. As the 6th installment, the 2026 local government elections take place during a notable change in domestic and global political landscape. Domestically, the country's political architecture is transitioning to governance by coalition arrangements. This change has come with a level of mixed public sentiment, with some being cautiously optimistic that this will enhance the quality of governance and accountability. For others, this change carries considerable risk of intractable deadlocks and instability that may impair the delivery of services to people. There is no gainsaying that the ongoing global conflicts and democratic recession have a direct impact on local democracy. In South Africa, as elsewhere in the world, the ongoing conflict negatively affects national and local government level supply chains, thereby hemorrhaging the propensity for efficient service delivery. Unmitigated, this could trigger citizen unrest, as we've already witnessed in some countries, where citizens are beginning to demonstrate against the rising fuel costs and other fiscal constraints, rather fiscal burdens. Cognizant of these realities and based on the recent HSRC voter participation survey findings, the Commission took a strategic decision to start early with its election communication campaign and to intensify stakeholder engagement. Hence, on 1st April this year, we revealed the election logo and our media campaign with the tagline, "Get up, show up, vote." This powerful call to action is aimed at motivating all eligible voters, particularly young people, to actively participate in the electoral process. As we previously indicated, the announcement of 4 November 2026 as election date by His Excellency President Ramaphosa provided the Commission and all electoral stakeholders with clarity and certainty for planning. This launch, therefore, is a practical manifestation of that certainty and an assurance that plans are in the execution phase for the delivery of an election to the standard contemplated in our Constitution. This morning, we are sharing with all South Africans our communication campaign through which we hope to create awareness and enthusiasm about the importance of electoral participation. It is needless to state that electoral participation is an incontrovertible ingredient to deepening democracy. Therefore, the campaign we are launching today encourages every eligible voter to register and vote on 4 November, because it is no exaggeration that democratic vitality of our country is dependent on each voter marking a ballot on 4 November. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to share with you the Commission's readiness following extensive planning, consultation, coordination with stakeholders to ensure free, fair, transparent, and credible elections. Today's launch marks the beginning of an intensified public awareness ahead of the voter registration weekend on 20th and 21st June. Just under 24,000 registration stations across 4,488 wards will open over 2 days to enable citizens to register, to verify personal details, and to ensure correct registrations. Preparations are well advanced, with the Department of Home Affairs ensuring that its offices will open countrywide to facilitate citizens' applications for identity documents, which are a prerequisite for registration. The Commission has deployed over 800 municipal outreach coordinators, including people with disabilities, throughout the country for voter education and awareness, and reinforcing inclusive participation ahead of these elections. Since the beginning of this year, we have conducted more than 62,000 community events across the country, reinforcing sustained voter education and public engagement. We also have completed a targeted door-to-door voter communication and registration campaign across 212 municipalities. This happened between the 11th and the 24th of March this year. The registration arising out of this effort amounts to 300,000 registrations. This campaign is meant to inform citizens of the recent municipal demarcation board's changes of some of the ward boundaries and the consequential revision of some of the voting districts. We wish to thank the Municipal Demarcation Board for their cooperation and for completing the ward delimitation and handing over final wards to the Commission. The Electoral Commission's voter education and registration program continue to yield strong results nationwide. The tertiary institution campaign has reached 97,000 students across 1,086 activations in all 9 provinces, with 45,000 students successfully registered, reflecting its impact in promoting youth participation in the electoral process. As a living testimony to our school's democracy program, some of our schools in Gauteng led us in the national anthem this morning, a beautiful rendition that they gave us. Thank you very much to them. The program, in partnership with the Department of Basic Education, continues to build youth awareness by educating learners on concepts of democracy, electoral processes, and encouraging eligible voters aged 16 years and older to register as voters. The Electoral Commission is also alive to the reality that the pervasive use of social media makes it a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it gives voters more access to information, enhances active participation, and provides political parties and candidates wider and instantaneous reach beyond that which the traditional media can achieve. On the other hand, social media is prone to manipulation and the distortion of information, which could undermine information integrity. Information integrity is an indispensable component of a credible electoral process. We have previously mitigated the bane of disinformation through, amongst others, collaboration with civil society on flagging and reporting disinformation through the Real 411 platform. We are reinforcing the fight against the threat to information accuracy and electoral integrity through policy development. Based on the Constitution and other pertinent prescripts, the Commission will shortly issue a draft Code of Conduct on misinformation for public comment. The draft code will seek to embed specific protection against fraudulent and manipulated content with a view to preserving information integrity in the elections. Now, honorable ministers, the leaders of political parties, distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen, we want to present to you some innovations and interventions that we've put in place to enhance the credibility of the elections coming on the 4th of November. We start with the online registration. The online registration portal has improved the accuracy and stability of the voters' roll by enabling real-time updates and offsetting losses due to mortality. Between January and May this year, the portal recorded 376,000 new voter registrations, reflecting a strong uptake and confidence in the system. And most users of the portal are young South Africans, our primary target in this election campaign. So in consequence to the growing use of the portal, the total number of registered voters currently stands at 27.9 million South Africans. I was about to repeat it. 27.9 million, just shy of 28 million. This means that the online registration portal has directly contributed to the increase in the voters' roll. The size of the voters' roll now exceeds the figures as they stood at the time of the general elections in 2024. This novel achievement is realized despite an average loss of 34,000 voters per month due to mortality.
Registering to vote shouldn't have to be hard. Better yet, you should be able to do it from wherever you are, and here is how. Step 1. Get your SAID book or card ready and go to register2vote.elections.org.za. Step 2. Click Register to Vote Now and enter your personal details. Step 3. Enter the one-time PIN, OTP, sent to your cell phone and then search for your address. Or if you are at home, use the current location on your device. Step 4. Take a photo of your ID or submit a scan of your ID, and then you will receive an SMS within 24 hours confirming your successful registration. And that's it. You are registered and ready to vote in the upcoming elections.
We now youth-focused edutainment series. We are introducing a youth-focused program titled Beats for My Peeps. Developed in partnership with the SABC, this fresh and engaging program encourages young South Africans to register and vote in the forthcoming election. The program uses music, culture, and digital creators to address voter disengagement, dispel misinformation, and promote electoral participation. It will air on SABC1 at 1600 hours from the 3rd of June 2026.
South Africa, our rhythm has always been our power.
Got some great news for you guys.
A new generation is taking the mic, fusing the hits of today with the legacy of tomorrow. Digital content creators, celebrities, and musicians collide to create the soundtrack that moves a nation to the ballot box.
They shall hear us. We shall be heard.
This isn't just about music. It's about participation and reclaiming our public spaces. From viral moments to verified voices, it's time to flip the script and rewrite our story.
Taking back the power as the youth.
And it's conversations that we need to have. Why Fanisi vote?
Beats for my peeps. Your voice is loud. Your vote is louder. Starts 3 June every Wednesday at 6 p.m. on SABC1. Brought to you by SABC Education and the IEC. Get up, show up, and vote.
Come on your vote. Love you.
Now we turn to the IEC podcast. The Commission launched the podcast in April 2026 to reach citizens real time at their convenience through mobile devices and other accessible modern formats suited to contemporary audiences. The podcast is available on all official Electoral Commission YouTube channel and all other social media platforms.
First of all, the principle is that once you are registered, you are always on the voters' roll.
I think from my experience, the IEC does put in a lot of effort to make the elections visible, to make sure people understand.
So I think it's a matter of informing students the difference.
Okay.
It's not too late.
It's not, and the process is very quick. It's easy. It's straightforward. It's not going to take you a long time. The data that you're using on TikTok, use it on registertovote.elections.org.za. Yeah.
And as a young person, I am registered to vote. Refer to us registering for voter there by registertovote.elections.org.za.
We have also developed a media app for ease of accreditation of members of the media. This app will enable interaction and interview scheduling, as well as responses to frequently asked questions by members of the Fourth Estate. The media app will also enable the media to view the Commission's announcements, watch and upload IEC podcasts, submit queries, while receiving up-to-date media statements and information. Some journalists here present have already been onboarded onto this new media app platform. We now turn to the contact center. A total of 64,000 citizen interactions across voice, email, live chat, and social media channels have been realized. This level of engagement would not have been possible under the previous model of periodic activation. Over the years, the IC's contact center has evolved from a conventional call center to a multi-channel service offering offering voice, live chat, social media support, and email. A milestone worth noting is that in 2024, live chat on the IC's website surpassed voice as the most used channel, a clear signal of how citizens' communication preferences are shifting. Again, as a novelty, the contact center remained operational in the period between the 2024 elections and this registration process. This was not a decision taken lightly. It reflected sustained demand from voters seeking assistance on voter registration, by-elections, and questions about service opportunities. Today, the contact center is fully capacitated to assist thousands of South Africans with election-related information in all 11 official languages. Again, for the first time, we are deploying a multi-channel AI agent called Voter. Voter is trained to learn from our experienced human agents and will extend services after hours and to augment capacity during peak periods. Where the AI agent called Voter cannot assist, the caller is seamlessly routed to a trained human agent. The AI agent is currently trained on voter registration queries and will be updated progressively as the election period unfolds through to voting day. Dear ladies and gentlemen, these interventions speak to a simple but fundamental truth. The Electoral Commission operates on twin currencies. One, trust, and the other, responsiveness. Every channel we open, every language we serve, and every query we resolve is an expression of that commitment.
Esikhungweni sokuxhumana saka-IEC siyaziqhenya ngokusiza abantu baseNingizimu Afrika ngazo zonke izilimi ezisemthethweni ezili-11.
Hina la ka IEC Contact Center hi tinyuvisa hi ku pfuna vanhu hinkwavo va tiko la Afrika-Dzonga hi marimi hinkwawo ya 14. Kwa IEC Contact Center re mototo go di thusa ka maleme a Afrika Borwa a 11. Iziko lokuqhagamshelana i-IEC Contact Center sinceda boMzantsi Afrika kwamagasa 19.
Sikhungo sokuxhumana se-IEC ngekuthi gcabha sisita abantu bonke baseNingizimu Afrika ngato tonke tilwimi letikhona letisemthethweni.
At the IEC Contact Center, we proudly assist South Africans in all 11 official languages.
Hier by die IEC Contact Centrum help ons Suid-Afrikaners met 11 amptelike tale.
E-IEC Contact Center siyazikhakhazisa ngokusiza wonke amaSewula Afrika ngawo wonke amalimi asemthethweni ayi-11.
Leko IEC Contact Center re motlotlo ka le thusa ka dipuo tsohle tsa Afrika Borwa tse 11.
Mo IEC Contact Center re motlotlo ka go le thusa ka maleme ka moka Afrika Borwa a 11.
Botanganizo wa IEC Contact Center re a dikukumusa ngo thusa vhadzulapo vha Afrika Tshipembe nga nyambo dzoṱhe dza 19.
We now turn to the Atlas of Results. The Electoral Commission is publishing the Atlas of Results for the 2024 national and provincial elections. This atlas is a comprehensive geospatial analysis of the previous elections, which presents the voters' roll and election results in an interactive and map map-based format. This atlas will enable citizens, political parties, researchers, and other stakeholders to better understand the registration and voting patterns. Publishing the atlas well ahead of the elections makes it a vital planning tool for political parties and candidates.
IEC's award-winning Atlas of Results is a cutting-edge, interactive, map-based platform that provides a comprehensive geospatial analysis of every South African election since 1999, from voter registration and turnout to party support and demographic trends. Everything is mapped with GIS across every one of South Africa's voting districts. With granular district performance at your fingertips, the Atlas makes electoral information accessible and visible, strengthening public confidence in the integrity of our elections. With a wide range of data that can be easily extracted in various formats, take this opportunity to zoom in district by district and see how South Africa voted. Explore the latest award-winning Atlas of National and Provincial Elections 2024 at atlas.elections.org.za.
We aim to hold successful elections this year, not only by launching this election campaign today, but by ensuring collective responsibility, vigilance, and action by all electoral stakeholders. This is more so in the face of rising misinformation and disinformation. To ensure accurate reporting, the media remains central to ensuring credible electoral information. The Commission is collaborating with SANEF, SALGA, the Media Development and Diversity Agency, Africa Check, Moxie Africa, in training over 500 journalists in all the 9 provinces. From today, the Commission will roll out a national campaign across multiple channels, including television, radio, digital, and social media. This is to ensure broad reach and accessibility, as well as reinforce the importance of civic responsibility and electoral participation. We therefore hope to get the support of all stakeholders, including government, business, civil society, community organizations, the media, in amplifying the call to citizens: get up, show up, vote. In conclusion, our ambition is to provide South Africans with an efficient service on the 4th of November. This means the optimal functioning of voter management devices. This means properly trained presiding officers. And this means no unmanageable queues at voting stations. In this regard, we dare not fail. Ke a leboga.
Hambani in your voter, that's the 2026 municipal elections. It's all about bips for my peeps. If you don't have bips, you won't have peeps. So as a result, the youth of South Africa are definitely on the front row. Thank you so much, Ntate Mamabulo, on those details and ensuring us that we're on the right lane. In case you're not sure about your voter registration status, SMS your ID number to 32810. If you're not sure about what you need to do about voter registration, you can comfortably call our contact center number 0800 11 8000. Just Nje, never keeps. We've got our WhatsApp number. you can just say hi to us and then we'll definitely respond. The number is 060-8800-00. So we've got you. Any which way you want to look, IEC is there. Sora itebohela Ntate Mamabolo. And the other thing that is important for us for these particular elections, the Electoral Commission is on the floor of South Africa. Our officials are conducting civic and voter education, so we are definitely on and on and on. And by the way, somewhere towards the end of the program, Ntate Mamabolo, we're going to have a show-up moment. We'll talk about it later on, but there is a show-up coming. So on that note, I'm going to just get our young people. I get the honest of young people. Let's get our choir to vibe us a bit. And then after that, Nduna, the big one, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Ntate Mosotho Miepia, will be taking South Africans into where we are when we leave this hall. Definitely, we're registering, we're voting. Young people, give us a bit of a vibe as we continue on our program.
Baholo barile haribo petsaladipo. Tipo
haribo pe.
Baholo barile haribo petsaladipo.
Tipo haribo pe. Tipo haribo pe. Tipo haribo pe. Tipo haribo pe. Tipo haribo pe.
Baholo barile haribo petsaladipo.
Tipo haribo pe.
Baholo barile haribo
There we have it, the elections of young people. A massive, massive round of applause. I'm not sure where you are sitting, where you stand on things, ne? Me, I'm a township girl. I'm sure about these elections. Young people, CEO, they're breaking the record of voter registrations. So, and let's go on a run, ne? Let's batch. Young people are breaking the record. Thank you so much to the young people of our country. Thank you very, very much. We call him the father of the house, ne? Commissioner Mosotho Miepia, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission. May you please proceed and brief the nation on preparations for these elections. Thank you, Ndati.
Our guests in the house today, fellow South Africans, wherever you might be, we thank you for the time you have given to us this morning to share this important message for our nation. Let me stand on the protocol so eloquently laid out by the Chief Electoral Officer. But I must also acknowledge former commissioners of the Electoral Commission of South Africa that are here with us this morning, and those who have sent us messages of support from around the country, those who are not able to be with us, and those who at this moment are standing with us. You are true friends of this commission. Distinguished guests, fellow South Africans, it is an honor to address you at this pivotal moment, the official launch of the Electoral Commission's communication campaign for the 2026 local government elections scheduled for 4 November 2026. At the outset, I must say to you, when I listened to the Chief Electoral Officer, when I heard the young people speak to us in song, I had renewed hope. I knew that although the Chief Electoral Officer spoke like a person who's not under pressure, this is who we are. South Africans, all of us, rise up to the moment when we are called up to rise up. And this is such a moment. Chief Electoral Officer, your staff, and everyone that has been involved or continues to be involved in the work that we do, our political parties, civil society organizations, creative minds, everyone in this nation, thank you for the work you continue to do. It is inspirational. The work we unveil today transcends marketing. It is a vital exercise in democratic consolidation. In his seminal treatise on institutional trust, political scientist Robert Putnam argued that democratic institutions require robust civic education and engagement. And he calls this the social capital, which is necessary to function optimally at a time such as this. This campaign is designed precisely to build that capital, reminding every South African that an election management body can only build the arena. It is the active participation of citizens that animates democracy itself. When our Chief Electoral Officer detailed the extensive technical, infrastructural, and digital upgrades that underpin our operational readiness, we sat back and listened attentively. These innovations reflect an institution that recognizes what scholars described as a hybrid media system. Information no longer flows linearly from state institutions to a passive public. We operate within a decentralized network of real-time digital interactions, of social media discourse, and peer-to-peer communication. For the Commission, this means we have to adapt to this shifting landscape in a manner that is second to none, in a manner that we have not done before. Our new initiatives seek to transform communication from a periodic information broadcast into a continuous national dialogue. I was very pleased when I saw the podcast and noted that citizens will not miss anything, and they will get all the information they need at the time they need to get that information. Our strategic focus is clearly directed at young people. Political sociologists have long warned of a global trend towards cognitive disengagement among young voters, who often view formal political rituals as an abstract or performative act. Our goal is to counter this alienation by embedding democratic education into the daily digital and cultural realities of young South Africans, demonstrating that local democracy is a practical lever for immediate community change. Distinguished guests, friends of this institution, ladies and gentlemen, while digital connectivity expands our reach, it simultaneously exposes our electoral ecosystem to severe vulnerabilities. We are operating in an era defined by what the World Economic Forum classifies as a premier global risk. That is, the proliferation of systemic misinformation and disinformation. Empirical research establishes that targeted disinformation does not merely mislead. It systematically erodes institutional legitimacy, it exacerbates political polarization, it diminishes overall public faith in democratic processes, and it causes a state where hope can also be diminished. Mine is renewed when I hear young people say it is the time where bulls must do what bulls must do. I get excited. This reminds us that we as South Africans have come this far, not because it has always been easy. We have come this far because we've always been equal to the task. The past may be difficult, but the future is something we work at every day. And these elections remind us that the time has come for all of us to renew that resolve. In response, the Electoral Commission continues to invest heavily in proactive truth-telling mechanisms and agile digital tracking architectures. However, academic consensus dictates that defending the integrity of an election cannot be the sole burden of an electoral management body. It requires an expansive network of electoral integrity. It requires political parties, their leaders, their candidates to adhere to ethical communication, to resist the opportunistic urge to weaponize unsubstantiated claims for transient electoral advantages. It requires the media to maintain rigorous fact-checking standards and fair reporting at all times. It calls upon civil society to serve as analytical watchdogs and educators. Our democracy has taught us a lot. Watchdogs, civil societies, and media, political parties, and citizens that are engaged truly provide a hygienic democratic environment. Unfounded attacks on the integrity of our processes do not merely damage individual or institutional reputations. They inflict lasting injury on our constitutional fabric. The Commission welcomes robust public scrutiny, rigorous oversight, and constructive critique, and it does so transparently. In the work we do, there will always be something we want you to know and want you to see, and we want you to help us deal with as may be appropriate. Indeed, such feedback is vital for our ambition of remaining a global leader in electoral administration. But public discourse must remain anchored in empirical facts. It must be embedded in the truth, and it must respect our shared values, Ubuntu, and forge ahead for our work to continue in the manner that all South Africans would want us to be a proud nation. Honorable ministers, ladies and gentlemen, local government elections represent the coalface of our constitutional democracy. It is within our municipalities that the grand promises of the Constitution are translated into tangible human dignity through the provision of clean water, dependable sanitation, safe roads, electricity, and local economic opportunities. Local government is where the citizen encounters the state most directly. Consequently, voter turnout in these elections matters and matters profoundly. Political theorists Benjamin Barber, amongst others, noted that local democracy is the foundational school of citizenship. It is so. South Africans know it. When citizens retreat into voter apathy or indifference, they create a dangerous deficit in local accountability. Therefore, the Commission urgently calls on all eligible South Africans, particularly first-time voters, to participate in our National Voter Registration Weekend on 20 and 21 June 2026. Whether you need to register for the first time, update your registration details following a relocation, or verify your status on the voters' roll, use this window to secure your constitutional voice. It is that important, but it is so easy to do. No democracy is flawless. It is a continuous generational project of refinement. It never stops. It never will. Yet the institutionalized mechanism of the secret ballot remains the most stable. It is the most peaceful, and it is the most legitimate instrument ever devised for resolving societal disputes and allocating political authority. Protecting it is our collective duty. It does not only lie as a responsibility of the Electoral Commission. Each one of us is called to do so. Program Director, I am increasingly aware that I occupy the least enviable slot on today's agenda. I stand directly between a highly expectant audience and the true centerpiece of this morning, the unveiling of our new television commercial. If I speak much longer, my prolonged remarks may trigger a constitutional point of order from the floor. Therefore, in the interest of maintaining democratic goodwill and administrative harmony, I draw my remarks to a close. I urge you all, do not merely watch this commercial. Disseminate it. Spark conversations about its themes as you break bread together, as you spend time with your family on WhatsApp groups, as you spend time on social media channels, and as you speak to one another and engage in institutions of higher learning, and within your civic and community spaces, in your traditional authorities, with faith institutions, in your stokvels, and in your sporting events. There are many places we want you to talk about this. The Commission will continue to build world-class technologies and their platforms, and secure administrative systems that work and serve this nation. But the ultimate resilience of South Africa's democracy rests, as it always has, upon the active participation of all South Africans who are responsible and want to see our democracy advance. South Africa is a beautiful country. South Africa is a nation we all cherish. It is one we all have to get to work. May the Lord bless this nation. God bless our nation, as we say in our anthem. I want to thank you and wish you well. Thank you indeed.
Country, we are pulling up, we are lining up, we're standing up, because the democracy is not just a word in a headline.
It's a heartbeat. It's the courage to show face, to choose a path, to choose a future. So don't sleep, don't sit back. Show up and register to vote.
Listen, South Africa never keeps quiet.
We've always got something to say.
Opinions, we've got plenty.
But if there's one thing that hits harder, it is that X.
Your X is your move that says,
I'm here. I care.
But if your name's not on the voters' roll, your voice is giving.
Are you even there? Come 20 and 21 June, register to vote. We are registering. We are with E.
Don't get left behind. You can register here.
Or here. Or here. Because it's the most important thing we can do. I'm registered. I'm on the voters' roll. Are you?
Me? I'm definitely not getting left behind.
We not getting left behind. This time, Angsal. So South A, get up, show up, and register to vote. Asambeni.
There we have it. There we Masambeni, ne? Yeah. It doesn't help Guploma Ekoneni, ne? You cannot sit on the corner street. Masambeni. We need to show up. Chairperson, you just don't talk, ne? You do. So we need to show up today. I need, under your seat, we're showing up, ne? Under your seat. America to applause, ne? Did I hear the applause? Okay. Under your seat. Just put a hand under your seat. There's something there, mostly on the right side of your seat. Just don't say, ne? Just don't say. Just don't say there. Yeah. Take out what is inside. Take out what is inside. No repeat. Nonsense. Biesach. Take out what is inside. Take it out. Take it out. Take it out. Are we ready? Take it out. Let's take it out. You must find something like this. Can we take it out? You've got something like that. Okay. We are going to all stand up, ne? Camera people, are we ready? When you stand up, this is not a mug, ne? It's not a mug. It's a family mug. And you pass it on from one person to the other. This side here. From here, we go here. I can show up this side, ne? After you show up here, you go here. When you scan the QR code, it's a register, ne? Yeah, this one. So it's a family cup. If you have gone beyond 16 years, pass it on to the 16 years, 18-year-olds. They must scan, they register, ne? Can you show up? Woo! Can you show up? Woo! Oh yes! Mara, you're sitting down, Mara South Africans. Awa. Can you show up? Woo! Oh yes, thank you so much. Thank you. Massive round of applause. That is us for these elections. No matter where you are, no matter what you are doing, it doesn't matter. If you do not show up for these elections, it's not happening, ne? You saw that bunch of young people, ready, ne? Were registering, voter in these elections. You miss it out, tough is, ne? There are no wills, more willing. There's nothing in the will. We're registering, we're voting. Commissioner Love, it's ne? So ready. Some of us are ready, man. We've been ready for some 15 years. Commissioner Love, if you don't show up in these elections, tough luck. You heard that little girl, Masambeni. Let's go and do this. Come 2021, I'll be right there in the streets of South Africa, registering all the young people. 16 years, you register. 18 years on your birthday, you vote. So Masambeni. Commissioner Love, I say a humble vote of thanks. Thank you very much.
A lot of protocol, which I'm not going to repeat, but we have got 4,488 wards. As we heard from Commissioner Mashinini, this is the foundation. It's the foundation of our lived experience, and we thank you for being partners in making everybody in this country understand that it's not about pointing somewhere else away from ourselves. It's about taking responsibility to make that lived experience better. And that's why we're saying to you, get up, show up, and vote. Thank you to all of you who are partners in this, who recognize that this is our collective responsibility. Thank you for being here. Thank you for agreeing, as part of being here, to take these messages forward. Let us go out of this meeting stronger, more determined. I thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, there we have it. An exciting morning. Some of us who are street kids, we're just looking forward to being in the streets. 2021, that weekend, Rabloma Rakempa were registering to vote. Thank you very much to everyone, our distinguished guests, all of you for joining us this morning. We truly appreciate every second of it. When we leave this venue, we're going to the next venue. We've got assurance that will take you to the next venue, just for some bites as we wrap up the afternoon. But as we speak, I'm hoping that some of you are already sharing the QR code, ensuring that our young people are registering to vote. As we leave this venue, I'm going to request all of us to sit down as we get the front row. I've got assurance that will take the front row for me to the next venue where we have our bites, our lunch. But from us at the Electoral Commission, from the commissioners, the management of the IEC, all of us, thank you for joining this morning. Have a beautiful, beautiful afternoon. Siya register, siya voter. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye.